Hi, I'm Andrew Sears. I'm the president of City Vision University, and I'm recording this video particularly for those who are supervisors of City Vision students. And part of the reason why we're doing this is City Vision's very unique in that over 75% of our students are working at partner organizations and ministries. Last year, we gave over $160,000 in scholarship to students from partners. That's almost 20% of our budget. And part of what we're trying to do is we don't want to have some sort of theoretical, academic, disconnected education. We want our education to help be connected to your organization. And what we're really trying to do is we're trying to help your organization in addition to the student, and we're trying to help your client. So what are our goals in helping you as a supervisor? Our goal is to support you in your organization. And one way you can think about City Vision is we're a way to outsource both additional mentoring and training to those you supervise. So as a parent, I'm always looking for additional mentors to help, speak into my kids' lives. And as a supervisor, you can kind of do the same thing. View us as another voice that can help raise up those you're supervising. So one of the things that's unique about City Vision is we're really focused on experience-focused education. So our students are going to have projects that will help them engage more deeply with your organization. So part of that is talk with them about that, and that can help you learn more about them and also help develop them. Many of our life skills courses are focused on helping students improve their overall life balance and stability, so that can help as you're supervising people. And our goal is that those you supervise will be more effective and skilled, enabling them to advance in the organization. They would be better aligned with your organizational values. So we partner with organizations that we have very close alignment with their values, and they would just be more balanced, stable, and fulfilled in their life. So that's how we're trying to help you. Now, we have a best practices checklist for supervisors supporting City Vision students. So as I mentioned, City Vision's focused on experience-based education. City Vision provides all students with primary academic advising, but we ask for supervisors to serve kind of as informal secondary advisors, really to connect their studies to work. So what does this look like? So the first thing is we've asked the students to have an initial meeting with you to discuss their personal and professional goals related to their education and how City Vision can help them achieve them, provide advice on how they might advance in your organization. So, some student may say, I'd like to be in this position someday, and you can tell them what they really need. Some of it may be courses, but some of it may be they need to change, what they're doing, right? So then the second thing is most of you will be having one-to-one or team meetings with those you supervise. So, encourage them to share about their courses in those meetings. Ask them what courses they're taking, how they're going, what's their plans for future courses and their overall degree plan. And part of that is you can look, each term, so we have 5 terms a year, you can provide recommendations on what courses might help them advance in the organization. And then have them share major projects from courses, when they relate to work, or in many cases where they help them, better understand, understand them, sorry. So, for example, the vocation, calling, and purpose of work does all these things, Myers-Briggs personality test. It really helps you understand them as a person and can be a really good tool for managing someone. And then the last thing is almost all organizations will have annual review processes, and as a part of that, usually there's a professional development section. So use City Vision courses as a part of that. Look at the courses we have and say, what, I want you to develop some skills in this domain and take these courses. So another way we can help is many of your students may want to get on-the-job credit for the work they're doing there, and we can do that if you're willing to serve as a formal mentor. And a course we have a course called Mentored Ministry and Leadership at both the undergraduate and graduate level, and they can get credit for the on-the-job work, and it requires a little bit more work on your side. So essentially what you do is you work with the employee to select 2 books to have your employee read. They can be kind of any 2 books that are going to be relevant to their lives or to your organization. And this gives you a chance to really, take charge of their own development. And so, we provide you with some optional training on how to be an effective mentor. And then you would just meet bi-weekly over an 8-week course. That's the length of our course, just reviewing their mentoring goals and talking with them about how it's going as they're reading through the books. And then at the end, you complete a mentee evaluation and verify timesheets. And students can take this up to 3 times in the undergraduate level and up to twice at the graduate level. And a lot of the credit for this is actually the work that they're doing on the day-to-day basis. So if you're the type of person that says, you know what, I'd really like for this person to read these couple books because I think this would help them in their next level, then this could be something that'd be useful for you. So one other thing just to be aware of, as I mentioned, we give a lot of 20% of our budget is scholarships, but the students have to do well. So we're not just going to reward people not doing well. So they have to get at least a 3.0 GPA. So that's for our scholarships. And for Pell Grant, the bar is lower. It varies 1.5 to 2.0 GPA. But if you hear that your student's struggling, talk with them about this, because a lot of times what happens is their GPA gets too low and then they don't want to continue because it's not working financially for them. So now if the scholarship probation, if they get below a 3.0 GPA, we will still give them the scholarship if they get an A or B in a course. Now, just as a reminder, the way this works for the 2023 and 24 year, about 3/4 of our students who apply for Pell Grants get a Pell Grant. And so the current Pell Grant this year is $924. We provide a City Vision scholarship of $250 with tuition being $800. The student actually is getting paid $374 per course that they take with us. So that's if the organization sends 2 or more students. If there's only 1 student, then they get a 10% scholarship. And that, for a lot of organizations, motivation to try to get 2 or more students. So, help encourage your student to, get A's or B's in their courses. The other thing, just so you understand the structure of what we're trying to do, one of the biggest mistakes students make with City Vision is they try to take really advanced courses really quickly. So that's like someone who hasn't exercised for a long time saying, I'm going to go run a half marathon. We've sequenced it so that students can take the courses that are designed to help them get started. So number 1, our course is Vocation, Calling, and Purpose of Work. It's offered at least 3 times a year. And then we have, depending on what program they're going into, we usually recommend that they take this Intro to Christian Addiction Counseling or Intro to Nonprofit Management. And part of what they do is they develop a life plan in this course and a career plan in that course. And then they can move on to, say, 200 level or some other 100 level, and then later do the 400 level and ultimately, get their degree. Now, the other thing to realize, if you are supervising someone who is a recovery program graduate, so we have a program that we developed this past year called our Wounded Healers Program. It's an aftercare partnership program. So we, I like to say for a ministry that might have a 1-year recovery program, we like to be years 2 through 8 if they're going on for a bachelor's degree program part-time. And they can take all these courses that will help them develop life skills. So in this course, they're developing a life plan and understanding God's purpose for their life. In this course, what they're doing is they're working on a relapse prevention plan and a life balance plan. And then how to have emotional intelligence and healthy relationships, personal finance, physical health is really important for recovery and for mental health. Basic job skills and job search strategies, working through family issues. And then a lot of people, what they do is they transfer their chemical addictions into behavioral addictions. And this is kind of a course that helps them avoid that. So if you're supervising someone that is a program graduate, often one of the biggest challenges is, it's kind of like having kids. You want them to grow up faster. And we can help with that by through these courses. So that's something that you can be aware of. Now, in this next part, I just want to provide you with a little bit of tools if you're trying to advise students on how to progress and what courses they might take. So if you go to our website, you can find their degrees. So they should tell you what certificate or degree are they in, and then you can go and you can find it. And then you click on the page, and if you go to the page, you'll see, okay, here's the required courses. But the most important part is going to be this course schedule. So this is a simplified course schedule that you can see that's going to be the core courses in their degree program. In a lot of cases, it's not going to include the full list of courses. If you want to get to that, then you can actually go to this course schedule, and I'll show you that in a second. But you can go through and you can see, okay, these are the courses that are coming up. So whenever I'm supervising someone that's taking courses with us before the next term, I'm always providing some input into what courses they might consider taking. So you can see the full course schedule on our website here, and you can see the start dates for various terms. But as you're engaging with people and developing professional development plans and things along those lines, that can be helpful. So with that, the last thing that I want to cover is so City Vision, whenever we partner, about 25% of our students are coming from programs. So they're program graduates, or they're in the last stage of a program, and we have our Wounded Healers Aftercare Partnership Program for that. Now, 75% of our students are just regular staff, and all of City Vision programs are focused on that. We also have a particular page on our website for best practices for tuition reimbursement for organizations that are either doing that or want to do that. And then some other programs that we've developed. So if you have a thrift store, we have a retail management certificate that's particularly focused on thrift, and then we have a food services certificate that's focused on food services staff. And part of the purpose of these two is for those that are clients and that are graduates. Often, over half of those are going to work as their first job in either food services or retail. So we want to give them the tools that they would need to move up quickly in those fields. And then the last area we have is for your development or fundraising staff, and we have a nonprofit fundraising certificate. So and then in addition to that, if you have your own internal staff or client training programs that are fairly well thought out, often we can grant credit for those, and we've had some partners get their program graduates get like 16 credits after they're done with their program. So those are some of the ways we want to partner. You can send us an email if you want to connect more about that, or tell other program staff in your organization. Just so you're aware, the four main programs that we have at City Vision are addiction counseling, nonprofit management, business administration, and ministry and leadership. We have those at every level, from undergraduate certificate, associate's, bachelor's, graduate certificate, and master's. And then for all partners, they at least get the $720 per course rate, but if you have 2 or more students, it's $550 per course. And just to conclude, our partnership vision, just so you can understand, is kind of 3 tiers. You can almost think of it to have a military analogy. So you have, the wounded healers are kind of like the enlisted in the military. And our vision there is we want to serve about 10% of your program graduates over time as a key strategy in transforming the lives. We don't think we're a good solution for everyone. A lot of people are going to do trades or other things, or they're just not ready for college, or they don't have high school diploma or equivalent. And then staff training, that's kind of the officers. So what we want to do for a lot of our organizations, we want to help them more than double their total staff training hours. We've had some partners that we think that we've probably increased their staff training hours by 5-fold or 10-fold through their partnership with us. And then the last part is we're developing a doctoral program that's more like the generals. And we want to be the primary source for thought leaders out of the rescue mission movement and other Christian social service movements, really to enable those movements to continue to grow and thrive. So if you're interested in that, or want to learn more about this, or just want help in this, just send us an email to partnerships@cityvision.edu. And thank you for being willing to serve and support a City Vision student as a supervisor, and we really appreciate that. Thanks a lot.